Is it still worth buying Google Ads in 2025?
If you want high ROI from your marketing, then you need to hear this.
Hey, I'm Travis Miller,
And I'm Jimmy V.
and this is the show that helps you build a better dealership.
All right, T, ding, ding, ding. We're ringing the bell and we're jumping in, getting rock and rolling on today's topic. Is it still worth buying Google Ads in 2025? I mean, Google's been around a long time. I remember we were buying nickel clicks on Google way back in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
And
First started, yeah.
yeah, right when it first started, we were jumping on the bandwagon and buying nickel clicks. Man, those were the days when
That was the taste, man. It's like the
Yeah.
Wild West.
clicks for a nickel. It was you hear these dealer ads, drive for a dime or whatever, like you could get a click for a nickel.
Click for a nickel. Well, look, marketing in the car dealership world is changing, of course, as technology and audience composition and platforms change and evolve. And so and especially with the rise of AI, right? A lot of people are questioning,
Sure.
what role will search continue to play in the coming years? And of course, that's a great question, and it remains to be seen.
Will search? How will AI change search? And it's already changing search. How will AI change Google online advertising? Right? How will it change? And will Google still? How will Google evolve its ad networks? I was going to say, how will Google still be selling ads? Like, yeah, that's just a state. I hit to think, yes, of course they will be selling ads. And but how will it evolve? How will it change? All of that, is in flux. I mean, because AI is rapidly changing everything.
Yeah, and of course, dealers and
About it right now.
yeah, and of course, dealers need maximum accountability from their advertising right now. They need maximum results. The business is tough right now, and so we can't throw money away like maybe we were able to, previously in some cases. And so it's a reasonable question to ask of any advertising channel. Like, does it still make sense to buy this today? But a thing to keep in mind about customer behavior, and just think about your own use on your own device, whether you have an iPhone or an Android phone, when when you want to when you're going to look for something on the internet, uh, like for instance, like let's say you saw an ad that had a website URL, and you want to go check it out. Years ago, on the phone or on the device, there were two separate. There was an address bar and there was a search bar. And so if you knew exactly where you wanted to go, you would plug in the URL to the website you wanted to visit. Or if you wanted to search, you would put in your search in the search bar, like you would choose, right? But let's think about, like, who makes the browsers, right? Well, Google makes the browser, for the one that most people use anyway. And so what does Google want you to do as a user? Well, Google wants you to search. Google doesn't want you to go directly to a website because they lose the well, first of all, they lose the opportunity to charge money because Google's like in a toll booth position, right? They want to maintain their toll booth position where they charge money as users, or get, if not money through ads, at least attribution credit, so it increases their role in businesses' lives and their role in customer their role in the customer journey, right? Google does not want for business to happen online without going through Google. That's critical to their survival and relevance, and it's a battle that's being waged right now in front of us. But currently, people still, use their browser, go to the address bar, they type something in, but because the address bar has changed now, it's a unified address bar. Like, you put the URL in the same box that you would put a search, it does either, and it seems convenient, right? Well, it's real convenient for Google because you don't get it, because everything you do, unless you type in the URL exactly, turns into a search, right? And customers are lazy for the most part, and they don't really want to, because they don't need to remember the exact URL. You can just approximate the URL or the name of the company that you're looking for. And generally, because Google's really good at this, get matched up with what you're actually looking for, right? So this is the case almost when a customer is responding to a drive-by, a radio ad, a direct mail, I no, in the case of a Google ad, obviously they're clicking it, or in a Facebook ad or TikTok ad, they're clicking it. So when customers respond to your ad, they go and they type it in the address bar, the unified address bar, and more than likely they're hitting Google, right? And more than likely, before the organic results pop up,
Show.
an ad is going to show, right? So this is just important to look at this through the customer's, you know, eyes, and how they use, how they interact with the technology, and that most web journeys begin with search, and most searches begin with ads.
Yeah, for obvious reasons. You look, in the United States, 88% of the search traffic goes through Google. Worldwide, it's like 90%. So Google is still the behemoth when it comes to search. And the second largest search engine, but Google is the first largest search engine. The second largest search engine happens to be YouTube, and YouTube is owned by Google. So between the two of them, they own
I got it covered.
search. They own search, right? So does it still make sense to buy ads? Well, yeah, if you want to be in front of 88 to 90% of all search traffic, then probably you have to be on Google.
Well, the point is, the point I was making is that most traffic starts as search traffic because of the way the devices are set up.
Yes, and most traffic, and which is why 88% of the traffic is, I think, that they play into each other. But you're right, they funnel queries into search. That's just how they've manipulated the systems to be able to do that. And if you want immediate visibility, right when people are looking for what you offer, then Google Ads will still put your inventory, your message at the top of the page, ahead of third-party sites, ahead of competitor sites, and ahead of, people just tire kicking and shopping. It'll put you all at the top with the right bid, right? It's the only way and the fastest way to get yourself at the top of the search.
Yeah.
In record time. Now, of course, SEO, search engine optimization, which is also rapidly changing due to AI and the tech of evolution, is also critically, actually more important as it plays into search as well. But we're not talking about that. We're talking as really AI search. But we're talking about the actual paid advertising part.
Well, the problem is, even if you're an SEO wizard, which is fantastic, I think it can be really very valuable. You can still be in an afternoon, a competitor can get an ad in front of your organic result, and spend less than $100 to do it. So, you have to be there out of like a defensive posture. Like, you have to claim that space for yourself to make sure that nobody else claims the space. And I'm talking about like when people search for you, like a branded search, people search for your dealership name. As crazy as it is, you have to buy ads for your own name, because if you don't, a competitor can and likely will, and they will just siphon off the traffic that should have come to you. It will go to them instead.
Especially if you're doing any type of additional advertising, which, if you're trying for growth, you're going to. And when you make a noise in the marketplace, then people are going to look for you. And if they go to look for you, then they're getting funneled into search. And if they get funneled into search, then somebody's ad is showing up. And it might as well be yours.
Might as well be yours.
Because if it's not, then your money that you've spent to drive that search is gonna end up, that lead is gonna end up in somebody else's lap. And
That's right.
That's a shame.
Another big benefit of using search, though, is that search indicates high intent, right? And it's a topic for a different day. How valuable is intent? But for most dealerships, the way they're set up, high intent, the higher the intent is, is an indicator of the higher ROI, right? Because higher intent is more likely to matriculate through the sales funnel at a higher rate, right? So it makes every lead that comes through more valuable for most dealership operations.
Another thing about Google is that you can do hyper-local targeting. You can target by zip code. You can target by radius. You can target customers right where you want them to be. And you can make that target as small or as large as you want. Obviously, that changes the amount of opportunity you have, but you can dial it in, and when you do that, you can make your budget go farther or wider, cast a wider net or a more narrow net based on what you're trying to accomplish.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. Google is a fantastic tool for tracking everything. It can be extremely complex, but with the right team in place, you can make incredible, discoveries about user behavior on your site through, the GA4 as they call it, Google Analytics 4, and the Google Ads reporting platform. Tons of data at your fingertips that you can leverage and learn about what's resonating with which keywords and phrases are performing the best, and tie them back to ultimately what's really nice with the tracking through Google is that you can, with reasonably high certainty, track back sales to source. Now, the funny thing about Google or search is that it's often an attribution point, but it often is not the actual first point of attribution. And the first point of attribution usually gets erased by search because it's impossible to track. Like for instance, let's
Everything
just
gets
say
funneled into search.
right because of C.1 exactly right. So everything looks like it makes everything look like search. When a lot of things that went through search didn't start at search. So like it's like it's a key player that you have to have on the team. It's very dangerous to do any kind of advertising for your dealership and not have a strong search campaign in place. Um, how about
And it gives you high trackability. Yeah, and so mobile, obviously the good thing about our type of advertising, and I say our type, I mean type we do plus the type the dealers should be doing, is that when, somebody is searching for terms like dealership near me, or, Honda CRV near me, or, used car dealership near me, or something like that on their phone, those people obviously are interested in buying. And then when they're on the telephone, you can have a click to call, right? So they can like legit like call the store right from the phone, and having that ability to show up and get a text, get a call before um they move on is critical. Like it's such an opportunity for speed to lead. We always talk about speed to lead. The faster you get a hold of a lead, the more likely you're going to get them to take the next step, take the next motivated action. And when these people are actually on a mobile device, you're right there with them. And if you have your system set up properly, and you can capture that lead quickly and move it further into the pipeline.
Another great advantage is custom audience targeting. You can retarget your website visitors through Google. You can upload CRM lists and target them in Google. You can even target through, make VIN specific targeting options inside of Google. So if you want to be hyper targeted, the opportunity there's almost no tool more powerful than Google search to do that. And then
Now,
there's go ahead, Jim.
well, I was gonna say, and the good news about all this, Travis, is most dealers still suck at Google. I mean, and which means that there's opportunity for a well-optimized campaign out to out produce a competitor's campaign even today, because, like I said, a lot of these campaigns are cookie cutter and created like crap. And so if you're not a person who's interested in cookie cutter, and you're really interested in, campaigns that convert, then you really want to look for someone that knows what the heck they're doing on Google. And if you are looking for help on something like Google, and you would like to scale your success, then you should check out richdealers.com. That's our website, where we have a program where we help dealers, help them build a business and life that is ESP, enjoyable, simple, and prosperous. Because who doesn't want a business that's enjoyable, simple, and prosperous? What's the opposite of a business that's enjoyable, simple, and prosperous? One that is uh,
Horribly complicated and broke.
right, crappy, complicated, and costly.
Yeah, they were
Complicated and costly.
so
Like,
three C's of business.
that's right. That's terrible. We help dealers every day have live lives that are enjoyable, simple, and prosperous. Rich Dealers is like the easy button of dealership sales and scale. And we help dealers differentiate themselves in a crowded marketplace to stand out and to make more without spending more. That's what we do. Check it out. If you love this video, please send it to someone in the industry. Maybe they can benefit from it. Like and comment and subscribe so you never miss another one. And if you want to continue this conversation, you can head on over to betterdealerships.com and join our Facebook discussion group. That's it. That's what we do. That's how we do's it.
We'll see you there. That's it, man.
That's right. And until next time, you guys, stay classy.